Today, we're going to answer the question that has caused beginners in watchmaking to lose the most money. Quartz watch or automatic watch? But we're not going to talk about what a catalog says or what they tell you in a boutique dressed in a suit and tie. Let's talk about the reality of things in 2026. Which one is better for your everyday life? Not for a picture on Instagram, not to leave it in a display case gathering dust, but for the actual real world. For when you're rushing out the door late and checking the time, for when you travel and change time zones, for when you accidentally bump it against a door frame or a bar table. Most people buy the wrong type of watch because they get carried away by romanticism or the snobbery that mechanical is better. And no one explains the real consequences of that decision. Today, we're going to bust some myths. An automatic isn't the only true watch, and quartz isn't just a simple piece of plastic with a battery. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which group you truly belong to, and I must warn you about something crucial. This answer will save you time, frustration, and most importantly, a lot of money on maintenance. It's a clash of two worlds. Modern watchmaking is essentially divided into two almost entirely opposite philosophies. On one side, we have quartz. Mathematical precision, electronics, pure efficiency, absolute reliability. On the other hand, the automatic one. Micro-engineering, a century-old tradition, gears, oil, metal, and that mechanical heartbeat that obsesses us so much. For years, marketing has insisted on a very specific idea, that the automatic watch is superior because it's handcrafted, because it doesn't use a battery, because it's more authentic. But here comes the uncomfortable question. What good is a perfect piece of engineering if it's stopped on Monday morning and you're late for work? Today, we won't judge which one is prettier. We'll analyze which fits best into real life in 2026, with rush, travel, stress, and little time for rituals. The world of quartz, the king of efficiency. Let's start with quartz, the greatly misunderstood. A quartz watch functions in an almost insultingly efficient way. A small battery sends electricity to a quartz crystal, which is cut in the shape of a tuning fork. That crystal vibrates exactly 32,768 times per second. Not a single one more, not a single one less. A circuit counts all those vibrations, and every second it tells the motor, move the needle, right now. This is not some romantic notion. This is cold, perfect engineering. What does this mean for you specifically, come 2026? First, absolute precision. While an automatic watch can drift several seconds each day, a quartz watch only drifts seconds a month. Some people go all year without adjusting the time. Secondly, the grab-and-go effect. You pick it up from the drawer after a month of not using it, and it's still keeping perfect time. No surprises, no ritual, no adjustments. Third, durability. A quartz watch doesn't have a constantly oscillating balance wheel, nor a delicate escapement taking micro-impacts. You can work, play sports, travel, move freely. The watch simply performs. Fourth, the cost. For the price of a single dinner, you can own technology that is used in professional, military, or extreme diving watches. And here, I want to completely debunk a very important myth. In the year 2026, quartz is no longer synonymous with being cheap or simple. There exist high-precision and high-frequency quartz movements that are truly authentic works of technological art. The real problem isn't the quartz itself, the problem is the prejudice. The automatic world. Engineering comes alive. Now we're heading into the automated world where the real passion starts. No electricity here, no batteries, no chips. Everything here works thanks to the energy of your own movement. Every time you move your arm, a rotor spins. That rotor tightens a spring. That spring releases the energy little by little through a system of gears, rubies, and an escapement. It's a tiny time factory on your wrist. Why are we so obsessed with automatics? First, there's the second hand, that continuous sweep, which truly seems alive. It doesn't jump, it simply flows. Second, there's the emotional connection. The watch operates because you are constantly moving. If you stop moving, then it stops too. It's almost like a natural extension of your very own body. Third, the legacy. An automatic watch, if properly cared for, can last for generations. It doesn't rely on complex circuits that might become obsolete. It doesn't rely on electronic components that simply cannot be repaired. But now, here comes the part that almost no one ever tells you. A standard automatic watch has between 38 and 70 hours of power reserve. That means if you take it off Friday night and don't wear it over the weekend, by Monday morning, it's dead. And then the ritual begins. Setting the time, adjusting the date, being careful with the day change, avoiding certain hours to prevent damaging the mechanism. For some, this is part of the charm. For others, it's a constant nuisance. The real dilemma. Precision versus emotion. Here we're going to be brutally honest, because this is what will define if you'll love your watch or if you're going to hate it. If you work in an environment where every minute truly counts, if you absolutely hate being late, If it makes you nervous to see your watch no longer showing the exact time, then an automatic watch will surely frustrate you. And not because it's inherently bad, but because it's simply not designed to be perfect. It's designed to embody mechanics, tradition, and pure emotion. The quartz material is a luxury appliance. It does its job, and it does it with absurd precision. The automatic is a living machine, and like any living machine, it has character. One day it's dead accurate, another it runs fast, another it runs slow, and you have to live with that. This is the crucial point. When you buy an automatic, you're not just buying a watch, you're buying a lifestyle, because an automatic asks something in return. Consistency, use, understanding. You have to accept that it's not going to be perfect. And this is something that happens to many people. They purchase it for status, for aesthetics, or due to social pressure. They use it for a couple of weeks, then they leave it on the nightstand, it stops, and then Monday morning the frustration really starts. Because on Monday you just don't want a ritual. You want to leave the house, you want your watch to be working. That's why many automatic watches end up in a drawer. Not because they are bad, but because they are quite demanding for the real world. Now, mind you, an automatic can be absolutely wonderful if you are the right kind of person, if you enjoy the feeling of wearing a machine, if you take pleasure in looking at it, if you appreciate the weight, the sound, the smooth sweep of the second hand, if you like that small ritual of setting the time. Because the automatic has something that quartz cannot give: personality. The automatic is not just a tool, it's an experience. And the comparison is clear. Buying an automatic is like buying a vinyl record. It sounds incredible. The ritual is beautiful, but if you want to listen to music while running, you need Spotify. Quartz doesn't excite, but it doesn't fail. And in real life, the question isn't which is better, but which one suits you. Because the problem isn't the watch, it's buying an automatic expecting it to act like a quartz. That's where frustration comes from. And if that happens to you, you're not alone. Maintenance, what no one tells you. This is where money comes in, and it separates fantasy from reality. Because when someone sells you an automatic, they speak of tradition, they speak of heritage, they speak of craftsmanship, they speak of its soul, but almost no one speaks of the workshop. A quartz movement requires very little attention. Every 2 or 3 years, it just needs a battery. Very low cost and absolutely no problems. You simply replace it, and then you can forget. If it's a solar-powered quartz watch, you can practically forget about replacing the battery for 1 or even 2 decades. And this is absolutely incredible in the best possible way because a well-maintained solar watch is essentially a tank for everyday wear. Now let's move on to the automatic. An automatic is a mechanical machine with dozens, and sometimes even hundreds, of different parts. Gears, jewels, axles, springs. An escapement that is constantly working without stopping. A balance wheel oscillating thousands of times every single hour. And all of that absolutely requires lubrication. The oil in a clock is not eternal. It degrades, dries out, and loses its properties. And what happens if there's no lubrication? It's what inevitably occurs with every single machine. Friction, wear and tear, a gradual loss of precision, and, eventually, very expensive problems. That is why every 5 or 7 years, sometimes even 8, if you take really good care of it, an automatic watch requires a full and complete service. And a complete service means this: disassembling the entire movement, cleaning each and every piece, replacing all gaskets, relubricating at specific points, readjusting the timing, checking its water resistance, and then testing it for several days. It's a handcrafted process, and that naturally comes at a price. And it's certainly not cheap. For a mid-range watch, a full service can easily cost several €100. And the more prestigious the brand, the higher the cost typically is. And now, here comes a dose of reality. If you are not prepared to handle that level of upkeep, then an automatic watch is simply not for you, because an automatic timepiece that lacks proper maintenance will not age gracefully. It won't magically remain in pristine condition. It is not some kind of eternal, indestructible rock. It will lose its precision, it will wear down, and ultimately it will start causing you problems. And here's a question very few people ask themselves before buying. Am I willing to pay for regular servicing? Am I willing to maintain it just like you maintain a car? Because that's exactly what an automatic is, a miniature mechanical vehicle. And now comes another crucial point that almost no one ever mentions. Maintenance isn't just about the money, it's also about the logistics involved. You have to take it in, you have to wait, you have to trust the repair shop. And if it's a really expensive watch, sometimes you don't even dare to leave it just anywhere. Meanwhile, quartz is just a simple tool. If it stops working, it's the battery. If it breaks, you simply replace the module. And in many cases, it's much more cost-effective than getting a full service. This is difficult to say, but it's the honest truth. And now, pay very close attention because this isn't meant to discourage you from buying an automatic car, it's so you make your purchase with intelligence. Because when someone buys an automatic knowing all of this, they truly enjoy it. When he buys it, not knowing what he's getting into, he feels ripped off. It's as simple as that. What's truly best for you in 2026? Here's the clear, straightforward conclusion, without any unnecessary romanticizing or rigid dogmas. Choose Quartz. If you are a practical person, if your watch is first and foremost a tool and you don't want to think about it more than 2 seconds a day, if you appreciate absolute precision and it bothers you to see that the time is no longer accurate, if you have several watches and like to rotate them without worrying if they are stopped or out of adjustment, if you're involved in sports, work with your hands quite a bit, travel extensively, or frequently change time zones, then you need a watch that's always ready, always accurate, and always reliable. Quartz is for those who want their watch to work for them, not the other way around. It's the logical choice when life moves fast and you don't want to add more friction to your daily routine. Choose an automatic if you're passionate about mechanics and interested in what happens beneath the dial. If you enjoy the ritual of setting the watch, winding it, feeling a living machine working with you, if you like to know exactly what you wear on your wrist and why it functions as it does, if you seek a piece with emotional weight, with history, with the idea that it can accompany you for years or even pass to another generation, an automatic watch isn't for everyone, and that doesn't make it worse, it just makes it more specific. It's a timepiece you truly enjoy when you have the time and the mental space to appreciate it. My personal trick is very simple and very honest.
I choose an automatic when I want to truly savor the day, when I know I'm moving at a relaxed pace and wish to feel the timepiece as an integral part of the experience. When I opt for a high-quality quartz, but a day promises to be a challenge. When I know I absolutely require unwavering reliability and absolutely no concerns. Grasping this concept represents a significant leap forward as an enthusiast, because you cease acquiring timepieces based on external opinions and begin purchasing them for how perfectly they integrate into your personal lifestyle.
My final piece of advice is this. Never let anyone tell you that a quartz movement makes a watch any less of a timepiece. True elegance doesn't depend on whether it's battery-powered or not. It depends on how well the watch fits into your daily routine, your work, and your entire way of life. A good watch is one that stays with you, not one that just sits forgotten in a drawer because you're too lazy to set it. And an expensive watch you don't use is worse than a simple one you wear every single day. If you're just starting out in this world, my advice is clear and without any pretense. Begin with a good quartz watch. Learn to live with a watch, to wear it, to truly integrate it into your daily routine. And if, as time goes on, you feel you're missing something more emotional, something more mechanical, then make the switch to an automatic movement with genuine understanding, not just because of social pressure. Because when you truly understand what you're buying, you enjoy what you own much more. And now I ask you, are you someone who enjoys adjusting the time every morning, or do you prefer absolute reliability? Leave your comments below. I read and respond to every single one. If you enjoyed this honest analysis, please give it a like and subscribe. Here we discuss watches for people who truly live in the real world. I'll see you all in the very next video.